Hello everybody, HectiX here, and welcome back to Kaido Racer 2. Now, in the last episode, we finally got the message here from Alchemist, the Urarako slasher, so he finally makes his appearance. So we are going to be racing him in this episode. Now, the big thing about this particular boss battle is we finally unlock more of the short courses, because right now we only have Hakone Nanamagari. In order to get both Miyogi and Usui, we need to have defeated Alchemist. So yeah, we are going to be beating him obviously this episode, so we'll just accept his challenge. Now we do have one more message here from Metro Roller. There he is. So we'll race him during the day. Now also, before we move on to nighttime, after we finish Metro Roller here, I did also go out and buy off-screen a Fairlady Z S30. I can't remember if I showed that off last episode. And I bought an Integra Type R. So I do plan to do 2 more medals this episode. After that, we will move on to the races at night. So first things first, let's beat Metro Roller in his Calsonic R32. Now, the reason I know this is because I, just like, as I did mention in the Enthusia episode that went up on Monday, this episode is also being redone because I ended up updating the emulator, so I am having to redo this part. Thankfully, I didn't lose anything substantial, so I don't mind redoing this. So let's just beat Metro Roller here in his Calsonic. It is a shame that I don't think I have access to get this particular car. I actually don't know if there's a way to unlock it, or if the only way I can actually use that or his particular car is if I befriend him. For those that are more well versed in this game and actually know a lot more, please let me know. Because if it is possible to get that Calsonic, I do want to get it, just to have it in the garage. Even if it doesn't get used that often, I do think I would like to have that. Okay, there we go. So we are about even with him down this hill, provided I don't royally mess up my braking too badly and he doesn't pin me on the inside wall. That would suck. But he is a bit quicker through the corner, but I'm a lot quicker on the exit. We can probably get him in the next few corners, or we'll get him right at the end of the track. Come on, can we get him here? Yes, we can, provided I don't get pinned. There we go. A little bit of a dirty pass, but should be okay. There we go. Hard on the brakes again. Ooh, a little bit of a bump there. He's getting a little bit aggressive. He didn't like the fact that I bumped him, but then again, the AI tend to do that a little bit as well, so don't mind a little bit of pushing every now and then. There we go. And around the final hairpin. Take this one really tight. There we go. Just to cover my bases on the inside, just in case. And a run to the line. There we go. And that's Metro Roller finally done. Now, can we befriend him? Nope, we did not befriend him. Damn it. I was really hoping to get access to that R32. Now, whether or not I can go back and just keep racing him over and over again till I end up, being his friend, I don't know. But first things first, let's take care of Shiga here. I am going to change to the S30. There we go. Now, these are all tuned and set up and everything, so I don't have to worry about that. Thankfully, it's also not raining, so this should be relatively simple. Now, I also did a little bit of testing with my friend when I did this. just to see if the car was competitive enough before I did it, and whether I had to do a little bit more tuning to it. So both cars can do the clear time for both, so I'm okay. So this is just going to be don't drain the SP bar, and I should be relatively fine. Ooh. A little bit snappy there. But at least this S30 isn't trying to kill me around every corner or smack me into things, just like in the anime. It's actually quite well behaved for such an old chassis. Considering, well, I'm pretty certain it doesn't put modern suspension and whatnot on this car, but even that, it isn't very, very old chassis, so the rigidity and everything probably wouldn't be that good. But it actually is quite well behaved. Ooh. There we go, a little bit of understeer. Probably should shift down though. I think fourth was too high of a gear right now. There we go. Damn it. I was like, oh, I've got a good entry, and then, yeah, never mind. I'm not very good at that corner at all. It doesn't matter what I'm driving. But then again, I'm terrible at Shiga. I am not a particular fan of this track. Zhao's not so bad, but Zhao has a little bit more space, I feel, to move around. Shiga just feels very, very claustrophobic. I don't know what it is. Like, this S30 isn't a very wide car, and I'm barely in the lane. Like, Shiga is really freaking narrow. Now, the goal is right down at the bottom there. I don't know if you could catch that in the bottom corner there for a brief moment. Oop. Dang it. I was hoping that would continue. It will be a little bit close on the time. Probably, what, like 2 seconds before failing? Usually. I think that's what it was during the test. I had 2 seconds to spare. So... oh wow, I did much better than I thought I would. Okay. That felt like a very scruffy and slow lap, but all good. I'll take the money and the medal, of course. There we go. We have the Divas Shield. I think I said that correctly. But there we go. That's the Nissan Cup done. I will hold on to the S30 because I do want to keep that. Because it's an S30, of course I'm going to keep it. So now we can move on to Nico. Also change to the Integra. There we go, Integra Type R. Which I can sell after this because I don't believe I'm ever going to need another Honda unless I decide to buy an NSX, which I don't know if I will. They are notoriously hard to tune in this game, from what I've heard, so probably not. But 2:56 is the clear time for this one. Also, after this episode, I'll have to remember to do a little bit more sea-level grinding, because I think the next set of tracks, you need to be sea level 12, I do believe it is. And I do believe the max sea level is 20, so if I can get a decent event to show up that gives a lot of points, and I can do it, then yeah, I'll see if I can just sit here and grind out for 20 to 30 minutes, whatever, and get level 20 max, so that I don't have to worry about it anymore. Again, this is the one thing I really liked about the previous game, where it had the ticket system. It was a little bit easier and wasn't as grindy, because once you cleared 3 races from each level, it would send you to the next one if you had enough tickets, right? So I really do prefer that system to be brutally honest, but I do think some people like this system more, just because you spend less time during the day and more at night, so it does come at a trade-off, but I do like the more balanced approach the previous game had with daytime, even though you do spend a little bit more during the day, but I didn't mind that so much. It really did help you to learn the tracks a bit more, instead of just throwing you into it. Now, I did decide to keep the Integra here naturally aspirated because I didn't have any naturally aspirated cars yet. I actually think every car so far, even if it did come naturally aspirated, I have turbocharged it, if I remember correctly. So, yeah, I decided to keep this one just for the sake of. I decided to keep it naturally aspirated, just for that immediate response time. There we go. Now, whether or not the GT Wing is doing very much at all, I do not know. I do know even in racing, even if you do have a front-wheel drive car, they do tend to put a GT Wing on the back to make it a little bit more stable. But whether or not this car is going quick enough to really utilize the GT Wing, I don't know. I did it just for the sake of, like, what the heck, why not? Yep, another hairpin done. There we go. So I'm not doing too bad on time. Whether or not it would be quicker to have a turbo in this thing, probably. But I don't know if the front tires can handle that increased power. I do think front-wheel drive and turbo with lots of power obviously is not a good combination. So I would prefer to keep naturally aspirated as long as I can. I probably should either keep this or find another car that's naturally aspirated and hold on to that in case I ever need it. But there we go. That's done. So we got the Nobilissimus shield. I probably butchered that beyond belief, but yeah, we have that medal now. There we go. So that is daytime complete. I will switch back to the legacy. And we'll move on to nighttime. We will save Rocco for last. So that way we can end off beating the slasher. So let's move on to nighttime. And good. It's not raining because I've got the doll. That's right. I was worried there for a second that it was still going to be raining. But let's check Hakone first. I don't think we're going to have anybody here. I think it's still too early to have more rivals here. Yeah. Because later on you do have to come back. There are still more rivals. But right now there isn't anything there currently. I can probably start skipping these few. But I do like to keep checking nonetheless, just in case. I would hate to miss a rival. It's like, hey, I wouldn't mind getting the part that they have, or win the car potentially they might have, kind of thing. So better to check than to just pass up on it. Even though it does take a little bit to go through the menus. I could probably cut this all out. Whether or not I do not know. I think I did that the last episode, if I remember correctly, and it ended up being somebody was there. So, yeah. Waste of a jump cut. So, Uni level 2, and it's a time attack. Okay, GC8 Impreza. Let's see how this goes. I would think he's got me in the straightaway, but that depends how many straightaways there are. If it's more corners, I think I might have the advantage, because I'll probably be able to boot it a lot more than he can. Whether or not that is the case, who knows? So, minute 44.8. that seems doable. Oop, right, car doesn't like that spot. Hard on the brakes. Oh, he's going for a slide. Interesting decision. Wasn't actually expecting him to do a drift time attack. I figured he'd be all grip mostly. I guess he's trying to take a page out of Team Emperor, even though he's not in an actual, Evo, but I don't know. Unless it's Bunta, but again, the color scheme isn't right, and he would not be racing in Akagi, he'd be in Haruna. Which actually, I'm surprised there's no reference to Bunta in this game that I know of. If there is and I just haven't picked up on it, let me know. I'm actually quite curious if there is one. Finally a little bit smoother through there. Last few times with this wagon through there has been a bit out of shape, definitely. But we're definitely going to beat his time, provided I don't do too many mistakes. Nice and easy through there. Off the really tight corners here. There we go. Keep it in third. I should have enough power in the power band. Perfect. Way to shape for that hairpin, though. Oh, there's the goal. Okay. I actually didn't think the goal was around that corner. I thought it was a little bit further. Okay. I don't mind. At least we got an extra part for this. Whether or not it's something we'll actually use, I do not know, because I don't know the actual, critical tune for the H engine off by heart. So, yeah. Definitely would have to look that up after. Uraraka will come to later, so move on to Omote Rocco. We have two people here, and they're both normal rivals. Okay, that works. Another time attack in a Alfa Romeo. So this shouldn't be too difficult. Actually, surprisingly, that Alfa Romeo, if you tune it up properly, you can actually get that thing to drift quite well, even though it is all-wheel drive. So, yeah, that ends up being actually quite a good drift car, funny enough. Well, at least I find it to be. Might not be everybody's cup of tea, but if anybody wants to actually give that a shot, go for it. See what you think. But I actually don't mind that Alfa Romeo. Oop, out of shape here. Was playing a bit too much of the original out of the trilogy for this series, so expecting it a little bit different, but shouldn't take too long to get reused to this game and just readjust. Now, I would play the first game, however, compared to this and the second game in the series, definitely not my cup of tea, even though that's the one that introduced me to this whole Toge style TXR game system. But yeah, at the beginning it's okay, nothing wrong with it, but later on it becomes a pain in the ass with the rivals constantly dive bombing you, and some of just the way they drive is ridiculously quick compared to you, the player. So it ends up being quite aggravating. So, yeah, whether or not I do a series on that, I don't know. Also, I would have to do a lot of editing for that. Because pretty much every single menu you go through is a loading screen. So, yeah, there'd be a lot of editing for that. But I was asked if I had done that game in a comment not too long ago, So whether or not I do not know. If it's something everybody wants me to do, then I guess I can do it. But yeah, we'll see. I do want to finish this first though, however, and I would, well, by the time this finishes, I do believe I'll be done Enthusia, so I would prefer to be done this Enthusia, and if I do have another ongoing project, that as well. I would like to get the Wanderer's Guide and finally put TXR0 to bed, because that's been going on for years at this point and hasn't finished. I really need to get cracking on that. I have slowly been uploading the videos the past little bit, so I'm slowly getting there, but I would like to be finished that at some point. Too late on the brakes for that. Yeah, my driving today is not the best. I've definitely had better. And he's now our friend. So we got ourselves a free ASL Garaya. Not bad, not bad. Wouldn't mind actually going out and buying that at some point. Keeping that, actually, I'll keep that naturally aspirated and just go for it. As like a naturally aspirated time attack car. Ooh, that sounds actually pretty good. Yeah, I think I might end up doing that. I think that's more suitable. So we have two people here at Shiga. Love Christina in a G35, I do believe that is. Or a Skyline, as it's, I do believe, called in this version of the game. So this shouldn't be too bad, provided we can just get around relatively quickly, because that is a big car on, well, not to say that I'm not in a very small car either, but this is a narrow track, and I'd rather get around the larger vehicle if I can, unless this is just going to be a trade back and forth kind of thing. Oop. Nope. Not quite. Maybe I can get her here. Yes. Awesome. Did have to barge my way through just a little bit. But we got past her nonetheless. There we go. Oop. Too quick. Thought I had a little bit more turn-in, and crap. I can't remember if I have... Okay, no I don't, because I actually have some turning grip. I couldn't remember if I had the sports tires on right now, or if I had racing tires. So I'm definitely on sports, because I can actually, you know, corner relatively well, even though I'm all out of shape for pretty much half of these corners. There we go, lovely sweet tarmac. Yeah, I might have to change the brake bias. I think I still have this set to 4, so I might just bump that to 5 so the brakes don't lock up as bad. So definitely do have to do just a little bit more tweaking to this wagon to make it just that bit more competitive. There we go, nice and easy through there. On the brakes, hopefully I don't slide too much. This is also where naturally aspirated is probably a little bit better. It's not as aggressive on the gravel. There's the goal. And there we go. Another victory, even though that was an absolute terrible run. So hopefully we can improve that by the end of the episode, but who knows. Let's see who else we have here. There we go. Ooh, S13 is the bet. Okay. Free S13. The shame that I can't get a SIL 80 conversion kit on that, even though the SIL 80 and the 1 Via are both in this game. wouldn't mind grabbing them. However, they end up counting as a special car. So for certain events, you can't use them. So it's basically use them at night and that's it. You can't use them for, let's say, like the Nissan Cup, for example. You can't use it. So, yeah, it ends up being one of those, like, you can't really use it. So, it's a shame, because I would very much end up doing that as my battle car to pay tribute to Blue Impact with Initial D, but yeah. They even have the appropriate rims in this game to do it too. So I could get the full combination and everything, but who knows, I might just do it, keep it, hold on to it, that sort of thing. Which wouldn't be a bad idea. Ooh. No turning grip there at all. Shoot down to second, actually would be a lot better than third. Okay, so this is definitely going to the goal. I am not outrunning him whatsoever. But I'm glad I don't have to worry about an SP bar. Because I probably would have drained that bar by now with all this wall hitting I'm doing. But then again, if I wasn't doing all this wall hitting, I think he'd still be keeping up, to be honest. I don't think I would just absolutely decimate him, so going really early on the brakes here, probably way earlier than I need to. But better to be safe than sorry on that hairpin. Oh, there's the goal. Actually, didn't take too long to get to the goal, I'm surprised. Figured it'd be a little bit longer than under 2 minutes, but there we go. A free S13 that more than likely not going to use. So move on to Nico. Hopefully it's not just Death Ruse that's there tonight. Because if it is just Death Ruse, or if he's even here to begin with, I am not racing him. We actually have 5 people here, including Death Ruse. Okay. So we have a team and a normal rival, which is a drift event. Against an MRS. I want to actually look at the course data really quick. There's no gravel. Okay, so I think I might be able to do this. I just want to check on that, because I don't think I'd be able to beat him if there was gravel, because he's in a very, very nimble car through all these hairpins. So having the better wheelbase and whatnot is actually a better thing than this station wagon. So just want to get all the points first, and then hopefully we can just boot it to the line. There we go. Needed a bit more handbrake on that one. Oop. A little bit too much understeer there. Okay, so we have the points. Now we gotta see if we can beat him. Oop. Whether or not that is actually the case, who knows? Because again, he's in a much more agile and nimble car compared to me. Only benefit I get is the traction out of the corners. So go. Let's see if we can keep that ghost behind us through these hairpins, because this is where it's going to get difficult, I feel. We've also doubled his point requirement, which I'm actually quite surprised at. Actually didn't think we would double it, but why am I not surprised that I stop paying attention to the points, and that's when I just start getting nothing but points? But ain't that usually how it goes when you stop trying to do it? That's when it ends up being better. But there we go. That's his race done. Probably should buy the MRS again. I wouldn't mind having that back. So we have 3 people here. So we'll take care of them, and then we'll move on to the Slasher in Urarako. That is, if we don't have another rival just before him there as well. So Napoleon Miyazawa. Interesting name. In a much more modern legacy, I do believe that is. Well, modern by this game's standards. Considering this game now is, what, 16 years old? No, 14. Because I believe this came out in 2006. So, it was 2006 or 2008. So it's 12 to 14 years old right now. So, yeah, definitely modern by this game's standards. Modern now? No. Definitely not. I do believe that's a legacy wagon. Even though I do prefer this version of the wagon personally, but I'm just more accustomed to seeing this, to be brutally honest with you. More so than the quote-unquote newer version of it. Okay, so he's actually keeping up, unlike his friend before him. So yeah, that SP bar is going down quite slow. This is where I would very much love to have racing tires on, but because of gravel, I'm going to stick with the sports, even though I would much rather have the extra grip, to be brutally honest. But if gravel ends up being on the track, well, yeah, I'd like to have grip for that too, thank you very much. So there we go, that's him done. Not too difficult of a race, there we go. English today is definitely not my forte. Akira Nisei is the final person here, the team leader. In a Mitsubishi GTO. Not a bad choice. I did not need to shift into first on that. That's my bad. Driver error right there, definitely. So I do expect him to keep up a lot better than the last rival. However, we'll see if that's indeed the case. Oop. Getting a bit of a tank slapper there. Yeah, he's definitely doing a lot better. But we'll see if his SP bar lasts the length of this straightaway, where his teammate ended up losing. Also provided that I don't do anything stupid myself, which, let's be real, happens quite a bit. . He made it further down the straightaway, but he didn't make the entire straightaway. So there we go. That's that team done and dusted. I will be skipping Death Ruse. That is, if that is actually Death Ruse. Yes, it is. So forget that. I'm not going to deal with that BS right now. So we'll move on to Rocco. Now, is it just the slasher, or do we have more people here? It's just the slasher. So we'll finish off with him, and then we'll call it an episode. Not a bad intro cinematic for the boss, but this game's definitely had a lot better. So let's see if we can get around him relatively soonish, hopefully. Yeah, he's going to break a bit too much for that corner. There we go. Swipe that position from him. I will say, though, that NSX sounds pretty freaking good. Whether or not we can beat him by, I do believe it's 100 meters or 150, I don't know. We'll see, though. Depends how quickly I can go through these corners reliably, and I am glad I'm not on racing tires, because then I'd have no grip for this. I was tempted to change the tires, but now I'm definitely glad I didn't. Oop. Skimmed the wall there. Lost all my momentum. Could probably keep it in second for most of these corners. Oop. A little bit of wheel spin and being tail happy there. That's not fun. Okay, not doing too bad so far. I think we're through that one section that usually gives me a hard time, though, where the back end just doesn't want to rotate and it just steers me into the divider, or not the divider, the guardrail. So there we go. Oh. All out of shape for that corner, definitely. Probably taking this a little bit too easy through some of these corners, but yeah, rather than making a mistake, I'd rather be slightly slower. Nope, actually I think that was the corner that catches me out in this car. So definitely through there, which is good. Don't have to worry about that anymore. Oop, do not want first gear. What am I doing? He's keeping up. We're relatively even, though. Oop. I say that as I smack into a wall like a moron. So much for being relatively even. Might as well just keep it in third, as much as I don't want to buzz the limiter too badly, but yeah, gonna have to slow down anyway. These final few corners. Good, no dive bomb, don't have to worry about it. Perfect. There we go. That's the Rocco slasher finished. So, there we go. That's Orako done. Oh, FR attacker. I think I can actually do that. Whether or not we've got the Sublimity Cup already, I don't remember. I will have to check that. But if we can do that and we haven't got that cup, I will take care of that for next episode. Hiroshima Straight Match. I think we haven't done that one yet either, so that's another one we can do next episode. And we have a little bit of information to go through. And then we'll wrap it up. So, connection. Information. What do we got? Clear level 3. Ooh, we unlocked the Evo 3 as well. Rotary level 3 parts, I do believe that is. I don't think that's actually level 4. GC8. Another evolution. I do believe that's the original Evo. MRS Zagato. Mazda BG8Z. I don't remember what that is. Sponsors. Yeah, we'll take care of those. Tires. Special 11. BE5 Legacy. Okay. Reinforcing suspension. I will be putting that on the car. H muffler and V mufflers as well. And a GTI R as well as an Evo 2. Okay. So, not a bad grouping of cars and parts. Definitely stuff probably worth grabbing and putting onto the car, provided my stuff already isn't better. But there we go. That's going to wrap it up for this episode. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed today's episode, and I will see you all in the next one. Have a good one. Bye-bye.